My bold prediction is that the SNAP benefits and the healthcare battle, the shutdown, is going to be a domino effect for Trump as well as the entire administration. I'm going to break down everything from the beginning to the end of what's happening. If you missed this, you're going to stress the fuck out for the rest of this whole term. But if you listen to this video, you're going to feel 10,000% better because nobody online is telling you this, especially not the left. Now, I got to use some coded words because YouTube is some bitches and they scared and they capitulate with Donald Trump. Yes, Donald Trump. They bend over. Well, so I got to use some coded words, but I'm going to walk you through this. My leftists, you need to pay attention to what I'm saying right now. The biggest thing you need to understand about this domino effect is that it's not only an effect that affects the red, it's not only an effect that affects the blue getting more active, but it also affects the inner policies that are happening. There are all sorts of different policies that have been shaped and formed, and what we gotta watch is as he creeps to his death, because he may only have about 5 to 7 months. At first, I said he might go before the end of the year, and I might be right about that, but I think, as he creeps through these policies, it's going to get worse and worse. I think he's on his end game. I mean, the guy's falling asleep in press conferences and everything and having what doctors call dementia symptoms, kidney and heart failure symptoms. Let me tell you something. This guy is in a lot of trouble. And because of this, he's going to bring down the whole GOP and he gives no fucks. So he's going to basically hold on to the SNAP benefits, hold on to the shutdown, which honestly, the smartest thing that Congress could do to save themselves, GOP Congress, is take the deal from Senator Schumer, who said, listen, we ain't even got a debate over the new health care subsidies. All we got to do is keep the same law that's right there, and we can debate later for the next year. Please go ahead and do this. Sign this thing. Let's get it done inside of hours, and we end the shutdown, longest shutdown in history. And right now, it looks like they're going to let it ride. If I were GOP, I would save self and take that deal. That would be a deal out. But if they're worried about what Trump's going to do, Trump's on his end game. 5 to 7 months he's got. Trump's on his end game. But when Trump leaves, this is a domino effect. You mess up with SNAP, you're going to lose benefits. You're going to have this blue wave that's happening in city, county, parishes, and states. 2, you're going to have this shutdown go down, and it's going to affect a lot of our economy, and it's going to lead to a recession. 3, this shutdown is also going to affect the healthcare subsidies that are out there, and people are going to die slowly or quickly because of their healthcare problems, because they're messing around with these subsidies, y'all. What I'm saying is that this is the domino effect to his destruction, GOP's destruction. Now, when he dies, what happens? Let's talk about that. If it depends on how he dies. First of all, I don't believe in violence. I don't encourage anybody to do violence. I don't want anybody doing violence. Please don't do violence, okay? Just don't do that. The whole idea, I'm not even hinting violence, no way. But if he gets assassinated, he becomes a martyr. And if you think they were honoring Charlie Kirk, oh my God. No, please, please, please don't let nothing happen to that man. But I will say this. If he dies of natural causes, which is what I believe, natural causes, it's going to have a vacuum effect. It's going to cause a bigger rift that's already happening in the Republican Party, a civil war. And the question becomes, do the Epstein files come out before he dies? I think the Epstein files will be out before the end of the year, because Mike Johnson has to put it back in session. 218 Congress sign it, and they get the evidence. How do we know it's the real Epstein files? I get a lot of questions about that, and it comes down to this. The victims' attorneys can identify it because they've seen it. They know. So they're bonded by silence not to say anything about it. But once it's released, it's on. Between that and between the victims' database that they're creating, it'll be out there. Now, let's talk about that. That can diminish him. That could get him out the door. That could embarrass him. That could hurt the administration times 1,000. Because all of the GOP cannot stand with pedophiles. They standing right now with them in this avoidance that Mike Johnson's doing, but it's bad. It's bad. You talk about bipartisanship. It's political suicide what they're doing right now with the SNAP benefits, with this shutdown, and with Epstein. It is political suicide, and it's the end to their demise. But let's say the Epstein files comes out before he dies, that diminishes him, diminishes his power, could take him out. Seriously, take him out politically, most certainly. He is no longer a political asset to the GOP. They got to get rid of him. But here's the other thing that happens. Let's say he dies out. Then that takes out 50% of the MAGA base. Now, you might think this is a win-win, yay, yay, everything's great. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Pay attention. J.D. Vance becomes president. He's a slickster, and he's got the Heritage Foundation behind him. He doesn't necessarily have all of MAGA, because MAGA ain't feeling him, but he has the Heritage Foundation behind him, and the way they move is a little more smoother. They move like Xi Jinping. See, our greatest adversary in America is not Putin, it's Xi Jinping. Putin's a thug. Xi Jinping is a gangster. His ass moves behind the scenes. Don't believe me? Look at how they subdued Hong Kong. You don't hear nothing out of Hong Kong. They are smooth, and they smooth about how they handle things. I mean, think about all the Americans who are promoting China right now. Oh man, China's great, great business. And I'm one of those people who believe it. I'm not a communist, I'm a capitalist. Actually, I'm running a business, you know. But I'm trying to tell you, I'm also a leftist, and I want you to understand. I'm one of those people who believe that Americans are both capitalists and socialists at the same time. Meaning that you got libraries out there. Everybody wants some universal health care. Everybody wants some relief on taxes. But at the same time, everybody wants some money too, don't they? Ain't nothing wrong with money now. What I'm trying to tell you is that what this is leading to is a domino effect between SNAP, shutdown, Epstein alone. That is a domino effect to take out the GOP, not only in 2026. Oh, no, before then. His presidency, his political power, the GOP is going to start kicking back. If this man looks like he's weak and he's going to die, they're going to start kicking back because they know they got to save themselves, because as soon as Trump is out, especially death, the MAGA base gone. MAGA base gone. Who they going to follow now? Because they don't have any follow-up leaders. No idea. And Trump don't want any follow-up leaders. Think about it. He don't want follow-up leaders. He want nothing but him. It's all about him. And everybody's played into that. But now you're on your end game. The other thing you got to look at is once these people are out, as I said, you got J.D. Vance, you got the Heritage Foundation, which is secretly planning policies like Xi Jinping behind the scenes. They are behind the scenes. We got to watch them like hawks. My fear, too, from the left is they think that since Trump's gone, everything's okay. Fuck that. It ain't. J.D. Vance is a slickster again. Heritage Foundation are slicksters. It ain't over, y'all. It ain't over. Then, as we go through the J.D. Vance Heritage Foundation era, we got to put our strength into watching this motherfucker because he's dangerous. Then Elon Musk is going to come back and try to side up with J.D. Vance, see if he can get a better relationship that's soured with Donald Trump. It's going to be a hot mess with these guys. These artists aren't going away. You know, Kamala Harris says something very prolific, and she's right. It's taken roughly 20 years to shape these people, 20, 30 years. The first independent media that started all this off was Rush Limbaugh. And then it went from there. It just went crazy from there. And in the last 12 years, so especially the last roughly almost 17 years since Obama, man, these people have lost their mind. They lost their mind. They went off and started making independent media, independent messages. They started working and creating independently. And Trump jumped on that trend and became president. But understand what this means is that there's still, even though the head is cut off the snake, the body still has an infrastructure. And they still have control over the executive branch. Facts. I think that several people will be going to jail But it's not going to happen until after this administration. And when I say after the administration, after Donald Trump. We cannot hold on to the ideology that Donald Trump is going to be the one who is going to be the head of the snake, cut it off and the snake dies. No. This is different. This GOP thing could have another snake head grow out. Now who? We don't know. There'll be nobody who will ever do this like Trump. But the idea is that we need to be prepared with these policies. You know what else we need to be doing right now? You know what we need to be doing? Once we do have this change of power, they need to get more aggressive. But here's what you need to do. You need to know better the history operation laws of your government. That's the thing I teach in my Clarity Group thing. Look at my link in my homepage. You'll see it there. Understand that it'll be in the description too. Here's the thing I want you to understand. When I say history, operation, laws of our government, man, listen. Many of you don't realize that the stuff they think they're getting away with, they're not. Trump is, let me put it to you like this. He's not getting away, he's getting a wait. Wait, W-A-I-T, like wait for it. It's coming for him, it's coming for his people. Now, will it hit him, man? There's only one way they'll probably get him, and that's with that grifting. But as far as these other people, whether it be Stephen Miller, Pam Bondi, Tom Homan, oh my God, Tom Homan, he accepted $50,000, y'all, $50,000 on camera in front of federal agents. It is going to happen. People are going to jail. And ICE agents, oh, they're going to jail by the thousands, y'all. They're going to jail by the thousands. I guarantee you. I mean, people even know who they are. They know the faces, recognize them, them behind the back. Oh, that Bill. They can find them. What I'm saying is they're going to get caught up in the game. Locked up. They get ready to get in trouble. Now, the other thing that's going to happen, and I want you to see as this happened after Trump, is that there's a lot of people who are going to try to get right. A lot of these Republicans got behind that Epstein trying to cover up the fact that they signed that big, beautiful BS bill to cut everybody's funding. Who's an example of that? MTG. Oh, MTG saying all these nice things. Fuck MTG. MTG trying to cover her ass because she knows she in a red Republican state. She knows those SNAP benefits means her ass in the rural area she is. She also know trying to do that shutdown shit is going to get them hurt because that hurts their health care. Is in red states. When you look at Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, Kentucky. When you look over there at Tennessee, they're in trouble. They're in trouble because they are the ones that need these benefits most. Why is it that 20 plus governors and attorney generals are sitting here fighting this shit out to protect the whole damn nation? It's like you're trying to get a confused, crazy dog out the water who's drowning. And the dog is biting you and gnawing and fighting you. And you're trying to get the dog out the damn water. It's just, and that's the way we are with these red states who just don't understand what's going on. Because either they're under the guise of Trump or they're just so massively uneducated. But you know what? We're uneducated on the left, too. We need to stop sitting there like our shit don't stink. Because if you've been freaked out about Trump when he got a 70% loss record, if you freaking out about Trump because you think he's getting away with stuff, why is he getting away with everything? He controls everything. Lie, lie, lie. I am so tired of people commenting in my comments talking about how powerful this man is. No, he's not. That's what I identify in my Clarity Group. I'm like, identify the data. The data points out he clearly isn't. It's a manipulation of lies. He suffers from diabetes. What I'm trying to get you to understand is that we're dealing with someone who's a master manipulator for the last half a century. And what I'm also trying to get you to understand is that our history, operation, laws of our government, most people don't know our civics. And I don't give you a civics lesson in the Clarity Group, but I do give you a wake-up call on what the real facts are. And the real facts come down to this. Many of us need to understand that this is only temporary because this guy is in trouble. Big. Gigantic. He done fucked up, y'all. He messed up big. And they gonna get his ass. But if they don't get him, I guarantee you one other thing. They gonna get, because maybe he dies or he slips by, or they don't get him, they don't pick him. The one they gonna get in the corner is going to be all of the people who followed him, from Bondi, Steve Miller down. And you know who knows it? Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon got in front of them cameras in the last, 48 hours and said, if we don't fight to get 2026 in by 2027, we go into jail. Bold statement, but very true. I give Steve Bannon credit for one thing. He got enough smarts to realize when the party may be over. And I'm telling you, it's very close to over. SNAP benefits, shut down, Epstein, kryptonite. And these guys are so arrogant that they fight for this. Oh no. Oh no. It's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. I keep telling people, you want stuff to happen now. And I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You want this to grow. You want this to mature. Hang on. Hang on. We got 167 more weeks to go. We just got through the 41st week. We're going into the 42nd week of Trumpism. So that means we got 166 weeks technically to go. And I know it may seem long and arduous, but remember this. Remember this. We've had over 3,000 weeks in this country. 3,000. 3,000. So I want you to think about that. We're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. Did I do that right? 250 times 52. Yeah. Actually, that's more than 3,000 weeks. That's 3,000 months, actually, that I meant. Out of 41 months to go, we got 3,000. We've had 3,000 months in the existence of this country. So as far as weeks are concerned, we're talking more like 12,500, somewhere in that area, weeks. And here we got another 167. Piece of cake. We'll make it through this. Ask yourself this. Well, how do you want to come out of this? In the Clarity Group, I'm always talking about how you decode this man's drama in this administration and what's really going on. How do you identify the data that's the truth? And then how do you develop yourself? Ask yourself this. It's the weekend, as I posted. What are you doing for you? Because we're going to make it through this. Maybe not the way that I say, you say, whatever, but we're going to make it through this. But I want you to understand, the biggest thing you can get out of 166 weeks is a better you. Mindset, emotionally, hydrated. I need to hydrate now. My lips getting dry. The whole idea is you being able to focus more on you, because we're going to make it through this. We are. Our best day, I really, absolutely, 100% guaranteed believe that our best days are ahead. Do not let these people mind fuck you into thinking that it's all doom and he controls everything. I talk about this all the time, the ACDs, the alarmist conspiracy theorists and the doomsday people. You need to stop fucking with them. Stop listening to them. Unplug the alarmist conspiracy doomsday people. Oh my God, everything's bad. Breaking news with no context whatsoever. They're not telling you what things mean when I say context. Then conspiracy theorists are people who go on this wild, wondrous, this is bad, and I'm like, no. Listen, I'm one of the people who believe the math wasn't mathing and the you-know-what was stolen. I can't say what it is because, YouTube limits my stuff, and they're capitulating to Trump by giving him almost $25 million. But that's why I created a Clarity Group, because they wouldn't allow me to put my content on social media. And what I'm saying to people is, listen, the biggest thing that's happening right now with all of this that we need to really be able to understand and sift through this is that the greatest thing is that they have built up enough energy on themselves to clap back from every corner of the earth to come and take them on and take them out and take them out. And what the left needs to do when they do get power is start ripping shit left like they were doing right. And what I'm saying to people in this era right now is watch out for you. And what I mean by that is this: protect your spirit. One of the things I teach in the Clarity Group is how do you protect your spirit? How do you remove the different types of toxic people from your, how do you repel them even without saying a word? Because you got to start repelling these people. And what I mean by that is not just MAGA. Again, we got problems on the left. People who don't understand the history, operation, laws of our government, so they freak out over alarmism. They freak out over conspiracies. They freak out over doomsday. And let me go back to the math not mathing in the election. I got to talk between the lines, but yeah, you know what was stolen. And yeah, they got evidence. And yeah, they're going to get them. After this administration, they can't go sooner. And no, they're not going to replace them with Kamala, and they're not going to get them out the door. You're living in fantasy land. But I'm guilty of that fantasy for 2 weeks. A year ago to this very week, I believe that Kamala was going to come back. I believe that the math wasn't math. I still believe that, but I thought that they were going to do something back. But by the middle of November last year, I said, it's going to be a long road. This man going to be president. Oh, shit. And that's when the Kamala Harris people directed me over to indivisible.org, and I listened to what they were saying, and I didn't feel as bad. And then I started gathering more information for people because I had been working on Kamala's campaign for, 5 months for free. And I said, well, what can I do? Well, I do branding and marketing, meaning I educate, I sell workshops on that. I don't actually consult anymore. I'm retired. And I don't, from consulting, and I've been doing this for 20 years. I retired from consulting. So I started just selling workshops and so on. But I said, what can I do beyond that? And to help the movement. And the biggest thing was add clarity via social media. But I can only do so much on social media because they keep banning and blocking and limiting my stuff. So I had to create a private group. And what I tell people is this, and that private group allows me to create these free videos. So please don't put out stuff like, well, I can't afford it. No, that's when you put out that energy. The universe hears and say, yeah, you're right, you can't afford it. You broke, here's more broke. Don't deal with that. It's only for people who can, if they're the right people who can come in. It ain't for everybody. But I'm not here to talk about the group. I'm here to talk about you. Think about it like this. What are you doing for yourself this weekend and going forward? Listen, this man, he's got 5 to 7 months. And this domino effect is going to affect you. And I know some of you are suffering from the snaps or suffering from the shutdown furlough or suffering from the ability to possibly not have your health insurance. I'm not saying there aren't problems in front of us and don't worry, be happy. No. I'm simply saying that in this moment, what can you do to make yourself smile? When we were broke as a family, we would go out to the park. We would go to the library. We would read books. We would, find something to make us happy as we dealt with it. It's still there, but as we dealt with it. But many of you don't understand the history, operation, laws of your government and realize this guy's going to get his. We got to wait that out. As far as SNAP benefits, it's rough. I know it's rough. It's rough. But I invite you to step up into your greatness and understand what's really going on. Seriously, understand what's going on. Connect and understand with respect. Okay? I want you to really understand what you love. What do you love? What do you love? Because the more you get in touch with what you love, and because thoughts and words become things, and when you connect that to what you love and what you're doing, a whole lot of things are going to open up for you. It depends on where your mindset's at. You may think that's woo-woo, but manifestation is real. Everything that exists right now, including where I'm recording this from, was once a thought. And they made it into reality. And I'm saying you can make things into reality. I'm not saying think your way through SNAP benefits or through healthcare. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that right now you can choose how to handle things. Growing up, We had members of our family, leaders in our family, who were very poor. But the thing we always love is that they found a way to connect and smile even when they felt like sighing. That's what it's all about. Building a better you. In spite of what this man is doing. Because these domino effects of Snap, shutdown, and Epstein are going to tear him down. They're going to tear down the GOP. But ask yourself, while they're tearing themselves down, how are you building yourself up? Think about that. Let me know in the comments. Watch my next video.